Hello, friends. How are you today? Well, today I thought we would talk about today's Schumann chart. And I've been doing live streams, but you know what? There's some cool imagery on the chart, and it's really inspiring. And so I wanted to share with you today. So join me on my live streams. I've been having them Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And so my next live stream will be Tuesday, 7 a.m. next week, right after Labor Day weekend. Okay, so what's on the chart and what is so inspiring? There's been a spray of white resonance on the chart. And I discussed this in detail, in some detail on my live, but there's more today. Here's how it started. In the first day on the chart, what you'll see is a spray of white resonance in verticals, and it goes from about 4 hertz to about 15 hertz. Now, 15 has been an area where we've seen a lot of activity in recent months. And it's so interesting because on the first day in today's chart, which I'm going to link below exactly to today's chart so you can go see it, and I'll put a picture of it, of these images in the thumbnail. So basically, what it looked like to me was a huge group of people, but someone's standing forward. And not only are they standing forward, you know what, for some reason my do not disturb's on, but I apologize about the bing in the background. That's me. But at any rate, not only is someone standing forward, but as I look at that image, it's like someone stands forward and then it causes the next person shown in the chart to be more prominent. And what that means to me is it's important for you to stand up, stand forward, come forward with what you are meant to do now in the moment. This is the time. And we just had the new moon in Taurus on Friday, the 19th of May. Taurus is about grounding into the physical, creating in the physical, having physical resources, and what you truly value in your human life, right? Is the physical life. And so it can be beyond the physical as well. But Taurus is very materially focused. And so what I take this image to mean, because it occurred within 3 days of the new moon, and now it's continued for 3 days. And so when something continues for 3 days, that elevates it in prominence. What this says to me is that every one of us that steps forward brings someone else along, encourages the next person, and it's easier for them to step forward, and then it's easier for us to step forward the next time. And so what this shows me is a momentum building. And how did this occur on the chart? Well, the green qualities have been spiking and spiking. Every day on the chart, there's been a spike to 31 in green in quality. And what that tells me, my interpretation is, this is humanity reaching forward, like a lift in our heart, an improvement in self-confidence, a boost in our energies every single day. And in my recent live streams, I discuss the details of how that happens and what the green qualities represent in my view. So here's what's fascinating. The second day in the chart, and the link is below or above in the video details. In the second day, there was a faded image, okay? And to me, what it looked like was it's the same shape of white resonance, but it's more in the background. It's more faded. No one's standing forward on the second day. That's yesterday in the chart. And what this says to me, this is my intuitive interpretation, but also I've spent a lot of time looking at the data behind the scenes. There's a whole group of people, there's a whole sector of humanity that finds what those stepping forward do that could find that interesting, that could be interested, that could want to be a part of that as well. But they will never have the opportunity unless the first group moves forward. And I'm really getting this strongly. Okay. I get very emotional. The read is very emotional here that this group, for them to have the opportunity, those of you, those of us that have that impulse, do it now, step forward. This is what I've always wanted to do. This is how I feel guided by God. However that works for you. It comes from within. We have a conscience. We have that impulse that guides us. Humanity, this is a normal and natural part of being human. You know what I'm talking about, and it comes from there. And so the thing is that the way creation works from energy into the physical, it's stronger when you do it for yourself from that impulse within. When we do it not for ourselves, but only for other people, it actually weakens the energy. Why is that? It's because you have a divine right to live in your body, to have what you wish in your life. The essence of that is God wants us to be happy. God wants us to have resources. The divine provides for us. And the perfection of this is Venus and Taurus. Venus rules Taurus, and that's where the new moon and the sun were on Friday. And so this in spiritual practices, and especially in Christianity, which I've grown up with, and most of the country has a background in Christianity. I'm talking, the United States of America, where I live and where I've grown up. And so we're imbued with a little bit of that, there's very much a focus on altruism, on doing for others. But here's the thing. And I've said this recently. I was talking to a friend who is very passionate about helping others. But this friend of mine has trouble receiving from others and receiving even, feeling worthy to receive the goodness from God for her, meant for her. And what I said to her recently was, look, here you are, you're going out and you're doing all this great work with other people for other people, and you're encouraging them, right? You're trying to help them change their lives. And I don't, she's in a profession where that's the focus. So what I said to her was, if you want to be an example, being an example energetically, living the example is more powerful. So, here's where you want to receive in your life. Here's where you're saying you're lacking. Here's where it's, the offer is for you to trust God in your life and God's direction for you. So if you're exhorting others to do this, why won't you do it for yourself? A lot of people with a spiritual background have this issue. The fact is, if you wish for this other group to also fully live their human lives, right, to the fullest, if you want them to have a good life, why should they do it if you don't? Or how could they be capable if you haven't developed that capability? It's on us to develop the capability to receive and to enjoy life and to understand that this is a divine right for human beings. And I'm not saying we don't have to work for it. It does require work and effort. It requires self-responsibility. It requires reaching for it, right? And commitment, focus every day. But we can do these things and we can live life to the fullest. And as if that wasn't enough, the last 2 days, that message, boom, a rod of vertical light that's pretty thick with a lot of beautiful colors comes in as if to say, yes, this is what we want. And today what I see on the chart is the two groups merging. They've merged and become one. And part of the group The whole group is stepping forward. And part of the group that's in the background is like, they're like, oh yeah, I think I can do it. It looks interesting. And they're open to it. So friends, gather yourself, encourage yourself, and let's do this. Let's do this today.